Japan's legendary pop-punk trio Shonen Knife is celebrating 35 years as a band with their new album Adventure, and what an adventure it's been. They're in the middle of their U.S. tour and are bringing their brand of catchy year-round summertime music to fans all over. I'm very excited that they could come and hang out with me today. Please welcome Naoko, Atsuko, and Risa of Shonen Knife. Welcome, ladies.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming out. We're big fans here at the station, and I know that touring is a crazy scheduled time, so this is really great for us. First of all, congratulations on 35 years. It doesn't seem possible since all of us are 22 years old. Me, I'm 22, you're 22.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the origin, the start of Shonen Knife 35 years ago.
When I wanted to start Shonen Knife, I like to listen to late 70s punk pop bands like British bands called Buzzcocks.
I love the Buzzcocks.
Jam or Ramones, like that. And I wanted to be like them, and I was boring to daily life. So I wanted to start something interesting. So at that time, I want to form a band with my friends. So I put advertisement on my refrigerator at home, and I want some people to join my band.
It's so old school. I love it.
Yeah, my younger sister Atsuko came to join us, and also I asked my friend, our original bassist Michie, to join the band, and then we started the band.
That's freaking adorable. There's just something on the refrigerator you didn't, we're talking 1981, 82, that late 70s stuff, the Buzzcocks, the Jam, the Who, the Ramones. In the United States, people were still getting into it. But was it something that was fresh and new coming to Japan? I know sometimes what's happening currently in the United States doesn't always get out overseas right away.
At that time, many Japanese young people like to listen to American or British rock. But the major scene is like heavy metal or hard rock bands are very popular, like Deep Purple or Led Zeppelin, like that. At that time, I didn't like that.
Oh,
actually, now I love that. I got old, so I like.
We're still not as old as them.
But at that time, new wave or punk music are very new for me. Because I was a teenager. So, and also the music of punk new wave is very simple and very easy to play. So it's very fresh for me.
Yeah, when 3 chords,
yeah.
No way. Yeah,
we didn't have any experience for instruments, so.
Yeah, so that's something easy to pick up on, and the themes are really universal. They're talking about just having a good time. They're talking about partying and surfing and all that stuff. Is that something that you could relate to as teenagers? Just having a good time. Was that something that you were just into? Were you just having a party band?
In Japan, there are not so many party bands. Many bands are a little serious.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we played a small club.
Okay.
Yeah, and then with other bands, boys band, and then we can talk and we had a good time.
Yeah, and talk about being just a band full of girls playing shows with probably all other just boys. I was telling you a little earlier that the band that I play in, we're all women, and it's very special to me. I consider it very unique and different to playing music with men. It's something that I really hold close to me. Was that something that was important to you guys to do?
Yeah, it's very important. I love all female bands.
Yeah.
And also I want to be as a all female bands. And so I
Not
don't-
just music, we can go shopping together. Yeah.
yeah, we can talk, do a girls talk, and we can play together.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. It's my favorite thing that my band keeps me sober. It keeps me sane for sure. So by the time you all became kind of well known in the States in the early 90s, you had quite a few records under your belt. You had a great little following massed up. What did it feel like at the time to like finally break through after like 10 years of hard work?
Yeah, at that time there is no internet.
Yeah,
So
the good old days.
I couldn't imagine how we became popular here. But at the beginning, a guy from Olympia, Washington, came to Japan, and he is called Calvin Johnson from Beat Happening, the band from K Records.
Yeah.
And he bought our record in Tokyo, and then he brought back, and he sent a letter to me, and it said he wanted to release Shonen Knife album from his label, K Records.
Nice.
And then we exchanged very snail mail.
Yeah.
It took very long.
Oh yeah, weeks at a time.
And then we released a cassette album from K Records, and then people who listened to cassette album, a person who owned Gasatanka Records in Los Angeles, he wanted to release our album, he said. And then we exchanged letters, and then he invited us to play in Los Angeles in 1989.
Yeah.
And we were working, we have daytime jobs, so we had summer holidays and flew to Los Angeles and play one show, just one show.
Just one show? 1989 in Los Angeles was a wild time. I mean, it was, we were still talking about the Sunset Strip, like hair metal, kind of like Poison and Motley Crue. And that's a whole different scene than what was going on in Olympia at the time. Was it kind of a culture shock? Was it a crazy time? Were you really into it?
Yeah, I had very much culture shock. People in America is so friendly, especially in Los Angeles, California. I got very much culture shock.
Well, then didn't you go out on tour with Nirvana for a little while? I mean, that, speaking of shocking, I don't think that they were even ready for how big they were going to get. Was it a crazy adventure going on tour with those guys, just watching them get bigger and bigger while you guys got bigger and bigger as well?
After our first show in Los Angeles in 1989, we had a chance to come back to America for 4 shows in 1991. At that time, the Kurt Cobain said he came to our show in Los Angeles in 91. Anyway, since then, we got an offer from Nirvana to be an opening act for their All Britain tour.
Okay.
So we joined their tour in 1991 November. And it was our first long tour, 3 weeks overseas tour.
That's a nice long time. You guys just did a British tour earlier in the year. So comparing that first tour, that 3 weeks in 91 to a few weeks in 2016, what's changed about Shonen Knife's touring experience?
Of course, we couldn't speak English so much at that time, and also we didn't know much about knowledge about touring. So and also it was long time ago. Of course, there is no internet, so we couldn't check things through internet. I used to buy a travel book and read.
Yeah.
So everything is different.
You're touring on your 20th full-length album, Adventure. Tell me a little bit about. I saw a video of you guys recording. Tell me a little bit about this album because it's just so fun. It's so happy. It's like summertime distilled down into CD form. What made you guys want to make a record like Adventure? Tell me about it.
Since we've released so many albums, so I cannot count actually. But Adventure is influenced by 70s and a little bit of 60s American rock and British hard rock. And our last album called Overdrive was influenced by 70s music too, but Adventure is more improved, progressed from our last album, Overdrive. And the many songs are very rock and not punk, but rock. And we have many various colorful melody lines, and also the lyrics are very unique. And especially I wrote a song about spicy hot wasabi.
You write a lot of songs about food, and I love it.
In 90s or early Shonen Knife, I wrote tons of sweets.
Yeah.
But I wrote many sweets, and but now I don't eat so much sweets like before, so I picked up different food.
They say that the older you get, in your taste buds change. Like every 7 years, you're supposed to get a new wave of things that you like to eat. So maybe 7 years you're writing songs about, I don't know, dairy products or something like that. We'll see what happens. We want to let people know where they can find out more about Shonen Knife. ShonenKnife.net is the website. Shonen Knife is the Twitter page. The new album, Adventure, is out right now. It's fantastic. And thank you all so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Arigato. Thank you.